24 of the Betfred Super League continues tonight, and we're live at Halliwell Jones. Warrington's playoff hopes are hanging by a thread. They could win all their remaining games and still not make the top six. Interesting night ahead for them after that loss at Huddersfield last week. Sending in their way the team at the bottom of the Super League table, Salford, but backed by superb support here tonight. It's going to be a lively old evening at the Halliwell Jones. All the action as the Warrington Wolves take on the Salford Red Devils. Kick off at 8 o'clock. Round 24 started last night. We were live at the Lee Sports Village as Lee Leopards picked up a big win that saw them jump to third in the table. Maybe Castles at 46 points to 6. Elsewhere tonight, leaders Hull Kingston Rovers take on St Helens, who are chasing down the top two. That's live over on Sky Sports Plus right now. Tomorrow is a triple header of action of teams involved in the playoff mix. Hull and Leeds are both in the top six. They get underway 2:45 Sky Sports action. Wakefield hoping to jump above Hull into sixth place. Take on Huddersfield at 5:25, and Catalans take on Wigan live at 7:55 on Sky Sports Action. Well, the table as it stands could well change quite a lot over the next few days as the final charge well and truly underway. Leaders Hull Kingston Rovers know whatever happens, they'll end at the top of the pile. For Warrington, they could close the gap on the top six to 3 points with a win, and for Salford, the third win of the season would be a welcome relief. What about the teams then? Well, Warrington have been hit by injuries that have ended the seasons of Ben Curry and James Harrison, and Conor Wrench announced a short retirement this week. But great news for Warrington, Leon Hayes is back 16 months out with an ankle injury that he suffered at Salford last April. He's missed the last 50 games. He's back in the half alongside George Williams. Sam Burgess has turned to the youngsters. Super League debuts for James Duffy, Ewan Smith and Tom McKinney, and a first Super League start for Luke Thomas. Powell, Thorby Wood and McKinney fill up Sam Burgess' bench. What about Salford then? Well, it's rare we've been able to say this, but a fairly settled side for them. 13 of the 17 that took the field at Lee last week will take the field tonight. Mills and Mellor in the halves. There's a debut for Jack Walker at fullback, and Jack Croft, the Wakefield loanee, is on the bench. And Jaden Nicarima back after 4 out, and Sam Davis starts after missing the last 10. Former Wolfman Dan Russell is in the back row. Poor Roller's bench is consisting of Nicarima, Chan, Warren and Croft. Delighted to say here at the Halliwell Jones is the one and only Terry O'Connor. Terry, looking forward to this as ever. What are you looking forward to tonight?
Yeah, looking forward to seeing some of the next generation players for Warrington, but also isn't it great to see Leon Hayes back in the side. Like you said, he got injured last April at Salford, a horrific leg injury, but back in the fold after missing the last 50 games, and he'll be up for a big game before he gets settled and set for pre-season come October time. But Joe Mello, well, what can you say about Joe Mello? One of Salford's best when he's on the field. He's only played 9 games this year, but he stood up, led from the front, whether he's been on the field or off the field in what has been a tough year for Salford, and he's up against the team that he grew up supporting on the terraces. So look for Joe Mello to be having a big game.
Yeah, he played well last week at Lee, and it's worth noting that Salford were very good last week for certainly the first 40 minutes, maybe an hour. They just ran out of steam at the end, but how pleasing will it be for Paul Rowley that he can actually put pretty much the same team out this week?
Yeah, well, it's not been the case, has it, Lauren? Players have been turning up on match day, introducing themselves and going out there and playing, not knowing what the moves are, not knowing names and not knowing what the players are best at. But last week, I agree with you, they had a real dig against the back end of the game. It just got a bit too quick for them. But tonight, look, if they start big and pressure Warrington and really get into them from the off, who knows what could happen. Like, Warrington had a real off day last week against Huddersfield, and they'll be out to prove that they want to finish the season strong.
Super League continues. Warrington Wolves playoff hopes are hanging by a thread. They need wins and wins only from here on in if they're going to have any chance. And big news for Warrington tonight. Leon Hayes back after 16 months out with that horrendous ankle issue. He is back in. There are debuts for the youngsters out of Warrington, James Duffy, Ewan Smith and Tom McKinney. And a first Super League start for the Wolves for Luke Thomas. Debuts for Salford, for Jack Walker and Jack Croft, who who've signed for the club this week are Jordan Nicarimo and Sam Davis, both back after injury. Scott Mikolauskas is our official in the middle. Liam Rush is our video referee. But Terry O'Connor, the great news, the big story tonight, Leon Hayes is back.
Yeah, brilliant, isn't it? Good for everybody. You know, like you said, he's missed the last 50 games. Looking for a big end to the year for him. Horrific leg injury that he suffered against Salford last April, and he's back in the fold, isn't he? And what a talent he is. He's a quality player, really does get stuck in, got an excellent kicking game as well.
And the great support have made their way here from Salford. There behind the post, they've been making a lot of noise, Terry, even since we arrived earlier on. Look, they are standing defiant, and they're here in big numbers tonight.
Well, I thought they had a real dig last week. I know they were in defeat against Lee, but for 60 minutes they really got stuck in, didn't they? The game, probably the back end just got a bit too quick for them. But tonight, if they start big, they pressure Warrington, and if they get into them from the off, anything could happen, because these fans, well, if they concede a couple of early tries, they could turn on them.
Yeah, it has gone wrong at Warrington. 4 losses in 5. Here's Justin Singare. He drives it forward, gets an offload away, and here now coming forward, there's Walker up to the 20. Plenty of experience in the top flight. Now the ball up towards the 30. I'm with you here, Terry. I think if Salford can get off to a decent start, they did that last week. This crowd here in Halliwell Jones, I think they're ready to turn on this side, as we maybe saw last week at Huddersfield.
Yeah, look, I think Warrington as well, when they named the side here, you look at the squad that they announced on Wednesday, 11 players have come through the system. Like I said, 3 of them on debut tonight. I think it's one eye for the future, but they won't disrespect what Salford have got out and what Salford players are playing, because they know that how good they were last week.
Here's Milnes, whose kick is charged down, and Danny Walker is racing for it. Walker's going to ace Walker against Walker. Was there a shove there? All collected, and Salford are going to get it back. And there's something kicking off here. In fact, it's player injury. They take the ball in the face.
Yeah, Juan Smith. Look, all the energy, the effort from the young back rower, he gets up into the face of the man kicking the ball, that hits him flush, and he goes down. I was feeling that one, the young man.
Well, this is not how he envisaged his debut going. His 18th man against Catalan here a couple of weeks ago.
Well, and he's a really good story as well. He's one that wasn't in like a scholarship or academy system. They come through at Priestley College, got spotted by some of the coaches. There you can see Richard Marshall was one of them that spotted him and given an opportunity, 20 years of age, and it just goes to show that you don't have to follow the path of coming through scholarship. He's come through a different route and he'll do a tremendous job.
Well, that would have been a horrendous start, wouldn't it, for Paul Rowley? He's going to have to go for a head injury assessment, so fingers crossed he's going to be okay, but he got everything in front of this. That's got to hurt. That has got to hurt.
Absolutely. Well, the young man's pride as well, going off the field, ball in the face. Yeah, you can take one if you're getting whacked. Someone sitting you on your backside. They'll be back on though, I'm sure.
Fingers crossed. Salford will just be happy they got the ball back here. Here is Chamambe. The ball 5 in front of the post here. So a good start defensively for Warrington. Luke Yates making his 200th appearance tonight. This is good defence from Warrington.
They're going to dominate Salford, won't they? Get the line speed sorted, get the contact right as well. Justin Sangare trying to lead from the front, second carry in this set.
Yeah, not making any meters at the moment. Now here's Milnes again. This time he does get the kick away. Kicks downfield. Dusty will collect it. Pops the ball up. And it's going to be brought back by Jake Thewlis, and he's wrapped up. Good chase in the end from Salford.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they'll be focusing on doing that and finish the sets well, get on the back of a big kick chase, and then try and dominate, get numbers in, more rolling sport in the build up to this game, or just making the rucks as slow as they can.
Wilson with a tackle. Warrington Warrington now over the halfway line. This is a determined carry from Luke Yates inside Salford territory. Well, they defended well last week for large parts early on, Salford, but they're going to be tested here. Williams gets it away to Duffy. Duffy slices through. Duffy's got the pace straight past Walker, and Duffy's in. First try of the night goes away of the fullback. However, they're having a look at this. It is a try on field to Scott Nikolauskas. Let's find out what the video referee has to say.
Tackle forward, we've got a try on field. We're checking for an obstruction in the build-up. So we're all good up to this point. The lead runner gets through. We're good up to that point. There is contact, but it's not significant contact. He's trying to avoid that player who then goes into him. So we can play on. We're good to play on from this point. Keep going. Go through to the grounding. And the ball is grounded. Thank you. I've made my decision.
Try is given there, Terry O'Connor, and I hear the comments of Lynn Rush. It wasn't significant contact, but the player is half a yard off making the tackle. So is that significant contact, or isn't it significant contact?
I think it was just enough, wasn't it, just to put him off, get into Duffy. Look, you need all the help you can get to try and tackle Matt Duffy. He's electric, isn't he? He gets on the outside of people, he burns them. So to have any sort of like little nudge that knocks you off your step, obviously it's going to impede you. And I think it was Leon Ruin, the man that was bumped into. And he's no slouch, Leon Ruin.
The kick is about to be taken by Pulis. Sends it on the way, and the flag's go up. 6 points to nil. Well, the question is then, if Leon Ruin falls over, does that then become significant contact?
Well, I thought that it was going to be given as a no try, but look, Matt Duffy scores it, and you can see Leon Ruin there. There's contact given, and it's enough. And he goes over, he can't get to Matt Duffy. But Matt Duffy, well, he was left out for a couple of games, wasn't he? Back into the fall last week, shows what he can do. I think it was 227 metres last week against Huddersfield. Maybe have a point to prove himself.
Yeah, all taken by Hayes, gets it away, and here goes Yates heading off in field. So good start then for Warrington. Needed it as well. 5 points off the top 6.
The big thing here now for Salford is not worrying about what's on the scoreboard. Got to try and control those offloads. Go and give them the field position and possession that they're after.
Duffy's been lively. Apologies, we have got some technical issues. No coverage on Sky Sports Plus tonight. Thanks for joining us. We are working on those. Ball on halfway. Here is Hayes. We'll send it high towards the goal line. Backpedaling is Walker. We'll bring it forward. Good run from Walker. Almost broke the line. That final runner with Leeds, wasn't it? 2017. Here they go. They're looking for the ball over the top. They found a bit of room on that edge, and now they're trying to get round the outside. It was Williams who got back to make the tackle. It was Derbyshire with the run. And here now comes Salford on the attack.
Jack Derbyshire, another one of those players that out to make a name for himself up against a team that he came through their system and was let go to Lee. Well, Salford got enough players in the ranks that can cause some problems. Jack Walker, like you said, played in a grand final at 18 years of age.
Well, they're looking on. Sagare with a carry. 30 out. Last one. Davis gets it away. Mellor's going to send it high. Here's Dusty coming into the line. He collects it. Russell collects it.
And this is where they've got to really push up. Just front load their efforts in defence here. Tackling numbers. Don't panic if you think that you've got numbers on your lot. The way that Warrington are playing, they're all bunched around the middle of the ruck before they start fanning out. So Salford could really get to work on here if they want.
Fired forward. Sagare will make the tackle.
his kicking game, Leonese, and there's a number of times that they've looked up, they've seen George Williams, and they give it to Leonese, and George Williams has actually stepped back. He's got that good of a boot, and people around him respect what he does. Great shot.
But what we forget, given how long he's been out, he actually played 10 games in a row in the first team, and we were raving about how well he was doing at the top level, so hopefully he can get back to that level pretty quickly.
Yeah, looked really sharp, didn't he? Looked strong in defence. You've seen Mert tackling. He's not afraid, and that is the size of him has been targeted all his career through the amateur game, through the professional game. He's not scared of anything.
Short pass here from Russell Bull on the ground, and an error from Salford. More disappointment for them. Not quite living up to what they served up last week.
No, and Salford can't afford really to give the ball to Warrington. They made a mistake just in their half, and we've got to contend with a team here now that want to play on the front foot.
Well, they were leading Warrington at Huddersfield last week, but made a mess of it in the latter stages. Warrington eventually well beaten at Huddersfield, 23 points to 10 last week.
It was the last 10 minutes of the game, wasn't it, that it went away from them. They were locked up at 10 apiece, then they conceded 2 tries.
And that's an error from Williams, went backwards, so a little bit of a lucky break for the Wolves, and it might lead to something more, because Duffy's pace is causing problems. A good work from Gorman. The Hulkins Rovers youngster makes his tackle. In out, forward goes Holroyd.
Looks like George Williams on the other side of the field, getting a bit of attention here. Well, it's been a tough physical game. There's been plenty of mistakes, but
he's clutching his shoulder now. This hasn't got just implications for Warrington. This could be England implications. I think he's going to carry on. Hopefully it's just a stinger or something, but he's in trouble there. Good shot there, goes in Sangare, last one. Warrington looking to double their lead. George Williams is ambling forward. Here's Dufty, gets it away. Good read there. Thewlis can't keep it away. Does get it away eventually. Gets it to Jake Thewlis. He's lively. He puts the kick over the top. It's bounced kindly in the end to Chimambi, who went for the offload. Referee said it went backwards. I think they might have got away with one there.
yeah, good job, Jack. Derbyshire was just in the pocket then, wasn't he? He just made his way over to the sideline. There's Chimambi again, just carries the ball, looking for another offload.
Guess what? Here's Rowan. He puts the burners on. Well, if George Williams has got a sore shoulder, he's just tested it out, and he felt that as well.
There you go, Leon Rowan just picking him out, wasn't he? So I'm getting a bit of attention. And he went straight for him.
Yes. This is getting a bit spiky early on.
He's on the sideline again, just positioning himself on the wing, just holding that shoulder.
Here, this time Russell does hang on. Miller with a pass. Here's Davis. Davis jumps out of dummy half. Can he get an offload away? It wasn't the best, but it bounced kindly. Walter Milnes gets it away now wide. Here now is Derbyshire. Gets it to Chimambi. He's away. Oh, great tackle. Brilliant tackle, denies the Wakefield Flyer a run down the sideline. Last one. Milnes is going to send it high. They'll come across the field. Thewlis after it. Takes it. Gets buried by 2 Salford tacklers.
Oh, that's 2 Thewlises in the last 10 seconds of Copsall. Josh Thewlis over on the right wing saved the try, didn't he? And then Jake Thewlis right in front of the sticks catches a ball that needed catching under some real pressure. Tell you what, they're not holding back Salford, are they?
No, only for a second. Chimambi was away there, just couldn't quite get the long legs. There's Jake Thewlis. He's been good every time we've seen him pulling the Warrington shirt. 13 tries in 15 first-team appearances.
Some absolute hurlers. Some that really needed scoring.
6-0 here. Hayes again back, sends it high. Chimambi waits underneath it, collects it on the full, 25 up from his line, returns it, and he's tackled just short of the foot.
Well, we know they call that ball, and they're starting to win a few sets here now. From where Leon Hayes had to kick the ball in that previous set, to where he's been kicking it at the start of the game. So they're starting to make the way downfield through some real hard graft. There's Salford.
It's not high, nor is Scott Mikolauskas. Just short of the halfway line. Davis will find Mills, pops it up Sangare. He'll look to offload it. Turns, bumps,
Listen, don't overplay. They've shown what they can do when they carry the ball. Great tackle, wasn't it, from Josh Fulis and Chalambi. He was brilliant last week. Those short kick-offs when they run under some pressure, the Salford fans just cheering him on. That Lee will come up with some real pearlers.
Yeah, well, they've started physically tonight. Just that dufty try when he burned them. There's a hint of an obstruction not given. Now we've got a stoppage in play. I think everything's going to be okay. If you're running repairs out in the middle. Logan Lewis. He's been in the wars, hasn't he, since he got in the team? He's a lot of head knocks. Paul Rowley looks on.
Paul Rowley got him, didn't he, from down under, playing reserve grade rugby. Only 16 appearances for him. He made his debut against Warrington last year. One thing about Logan Lewis, if you've ever watched him, he's not the biggest boy who runs with some aggression. I think he's a player with a big heart that really likes to help this side as much as he can.
Well, I think the Salford fans have seen the big picture. There was one of the owners sat behind Paul Rowley, and the fans have made their thoughts perfectly well known. They're determined to have their voice heard. A big couple of weeks off the field coming up for Salford as well as on it. Well, here in decent numbers, and they're adding to the atmosphere here. Logan Lewis has plenty of tape on there. Will be an attacking scrum for Warrington, an opportunity here. It away. Matteson turns it back. Here's Thomas. Been impressed with him off the bench in recent games, and he's now got his first start under Sam Burgess. Oh, some bad news coming the way of Warrington. And Ewan Smith, who we saw get a ball straight in the face off a Rowan Mills kick, went on for a head injury assessment. A minute into his debut, he's failed his head injury assessment.
It's so sad.
Awful news for him.
What's this game all week, man?
Yeah, 1 minute he lasted, and it was through his hard work that he ended up getting one in the face, trying to charge it down. Good defence, but they don't wrap up the ball. Holroyd now offers a big dummy. He's tackled. 11 out. Last one. Warrington looking dangerous here. If they go through the hands, surely they've got numbers. They're going to work it. They're going for the power play, and Salford stand firm right underneath the crossbar.
George Williams, he looks up, he gives it to Luke Thomas. I agree with you as well. I've been very impressed with that young man every time I've seen him play. A rugby union background, straight and direct, and whenever he gets the ball, he's a player with huge potential.
I thought against the Camerons, when they were struggling to get any goal forward, he came on and really, look at this, offloading inside their own 10. Where's the support? Not got any. Can he get a pass away? No, but held on. Didn't throw a silly pass. Jack Walker with a break. Salford strutting their stuff here, and now they come forward over the 40, and a tackle is made. Well, they're going to come and play, Terry. They've decided enough's enough.
Well, they've got absolutely nothing to lose, have they? And Jack Walker, well, that's what you get from him. All the experience, his sheer class, isn't he?
Injuries have ravaged his young career. Here now is Mills, pops it back, taken into contact by Russell. He'd love to have a big game tonight, wouldn't he, against the Wolves? It didn't work out for him here. He's been moved on. Here now, the ball in the hands of Wilson. Finds Miller, little step, probing, 15 away. Salford on the attack. Tackles in hand here. Ball now works its way into the hands of Wilson again. He's going to bend the line, but Yates gets him a couple of metres out. Which way do they go here? They're getting it away here to Mills. Short pass. Russell. Look, he was desperate for an offload. There was nobody to pass it to. If Coleman had been anywhere near, that was a walk-in. Last one. Here's Mills. Kicking game. Floats it out wide. Chamambi's after it. Ball on the ground. How did it come loose? It was knocked in by Warrington.
If Gorman could have got on the shoulder of Dan Russell, there was a try. He was just nudged. I think it was Toby King did a decent job of just shepherding him from getting the ball. And Derbyshire, unfortunately, couldn't turn that one in against his former side. Well, like a real good partnership over there, don't they, with Tremambi?
Warrington going to risk the short one, or they're just going to clear their lines. Hayes ready to deliver. He'll go a medium kick. Walker missed it. Thankfully, Logan Lewis didn't, and he brings it back. Another wholehearted carry. Davis goes it alone. Missed the last 10 for him. Finds Mills. He gets it away. Rowan comes forward. Not played for Hull Kingston Rovers this year. Probably at Leeds as well, but he's here getting some valuable Super League game time. Here goes Lewis again. Another good carry. Inside the 20 again. Mills, short pass. Here's Wilson. Dragged by his bootlaces there. That was a great effort defensively. It looked like Warrington were broken there. They're going down that short side here. Here's a pass. Here's Wilson. They're in this time. Listen to that cheer. In fact, it's not. It's the youngster Derbyshire against his former club who dives in. Huge moment for him and his family. Big moment for Salford. They do get a try back.
Oh, great play, wasn't it? I said they had that field position the previous set. Like I said, they showed how dangerous they were. They set up some real good attacking points. The forward doing hard work. And then they've got a strike over on that left edge with that young man, Jack Derbyshire. And all the family is celebrating that. Joe Mellor did a decent job, didn't he? You just look at the footwork that he shows there. Steps off his left. You can see that he's beaten the young man, James Duffy. And he just times the pass to perfection to Derbyshire. Great player, just his second appearance in Super League.
Great moment for him. Excellent for those in the primrose and blue. Joe Mellor, look, now all the players that have gone, and they've all moved on for their own reasons. Mellor's stayed, and he showed last week and this week. He's still got the ability, hasn't he, at this level?
I think he's brilliant. He's a brilliant leader. I watched him when he played at Widnes. Nearly 200 appearances for Widnes, and every week you just looked at him. No matter how busted he was, he put his hands up to play. He's a quality player, quality person off the field. And when you've got a young side that's inexperienced, you look to that man, and he certainly sets the platform and the example.
Just shows amid all the doom and gloom, it doesn't need too many bricks. If you can get the bricks you've got in the right place, then you've got half a chance. And look, we made light to that. I know you've got a stat, haven't you, about the number of players that Salford have used this season. But if you can get the right players on the pitch at the right time, they've got a chance.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Salford, the first team to ever use over 70 players in Super League since it started back in 1996. I've never known a team get anywhere near that sort of number since it started. And I think Paul Rowley, Kurt Haggerty have done an amazing job to keep putting the team out. Oh yeah, well, what did he miss? Was it round 22? They couldn't feel the team, but let me tell you, the teams that have took the field have certainly worn the heart on the sleeve.
Here's Mills. Could have had the extras from out wide. Wasn't Castleford, went to Hull Kingston Rovers. Now he's on loan, getting some game time with Salford. Sends a kick towards the post and he doesn't miss. 6-6.
Well, that's the sort of play start that those fans wanted from Jack Derbyshire. They'll be really pleased. He's always had all the skill. Jack Derbyshire needed some opportunities like most young lads do in the sport. You get your opportunity, you take your chance, and you build from that.
Here's the restart, comes towards the sideline, collected by Connell. He'll get it away. And Lewis on the end of a bell ringer there. What a shot that was.
Adam Allroyd, one of those Warrington youngsters that can really put a dent in you.
Forget, he's only 21 years of age as well. Running around now, approaching 15 Super League appearances. He was hit hard. Here now is Mellor. Gets it. Oh, an error from Sangamani. And it's unforced errors that let Warrington in here. They're moving it out wide, and the tackle is going to be made over on that far side.
That's it again. Jean-Paul Rollins on the ball over cheaply.
Well, they got back into it. They've just allowed Warrington right back in on the doorstep. What can the Wolves do here? Ball 10 out. Here's Mattison. Swings it now to Yates. Yates will probe in the middle. He's wrapped up. The ball now is with Warrington. They're looking to probe the centre of the field. They're offloading here. Hayes gets it wide. Putting back on the angle is the Wolves attack. Walker waits, dummy half. And now the ball works its way across. Short pass to Mattison. Oh, he was looking to offload it. Couldn't get it away. Scruffy play the ball and Salford have got it back. It was too quick a play the ball for Warrington.
They managed to get the ball back over. Don't try and solve problems yourself by shooting out the line. I know you can be caught in two minds thinking that you've got to solve it and you've got to pull the trigger. But make sure you work as a unit. But good play, good urgency to win the ball back though.
Yeah, was indeed. Ball with Salford. Here they are now coming forward. 12 off their own line. All level here. Quarter of the game gone. Here now is Rowan. He's having a bit of joy, isn't he, down that left-hand side?
Well, he's athletic, he's big, he's strong, he's powerful, he's very direct, he knows where he's going to run.
So this set will be played here. Thomas left on the ground. Here's Mills, will send it downfield. Dufty has to backpedal. That's a good kick. Dufty will offload it. Here comes Sulis to carry up to the 30. He's tackled. Good shot in the midriff, brings him to ground. Still scoreless over Hawkins Rovers against St Helens. Look out, a man in the bin, and now George Delaney's gone in the bin for St Helens. So advantage Hook out at the moment, and advantage Warrington here on the back of the penalty.
Salford looking to make the change. I think it's Nick Arima that's on for them. Over on the right side, just trying to look who's maybe gone off. But Salford, well, they're certainly in this game, aren't they? Obviously 6 apiece. They just need that field possession.
Croft is into the action for his Salford debut, centre of the field. So the ball now here with Walker, gets it away to Hayes. Hayes has a run. He's going to be tackled, put to ground, 25 away. There is Croft. Plenty of Super League games this year with Wakefield. Finds himself on the periphery at the moment. Here now is Dufty. He got the opening try for the Wolves, looking to go in and out. Good tackle again. There's Mellor doing his job in defence. Here now is Hayes. Gets it away. Mattison across the field. Howard did well to hang on to that last one. Ball now works his way short side. Williams through the middle. He's going to be wrapped up. Once again, Salford's defence tested, but Salford's defence hangs on.
Yeah, good tackle over the top, wasn't it? George Williams is a run threat. Whenever he gets the ball, the play of the ball was pretty quick. He wraps up from the open side to the short side. I thought he saw some look and saw it get some joy behind the ruck, but good defence from Salford.
Ball here short. Nicarima into the action. Gets Gorman down the short side. Ball here towards the 30. Really level game so far. Warrington maybe had the better of the attacking chances. Jackie Chan gets it away. Here's Mills, almost through, and he had support with him again. I think it was Walker on the shoulder. Here now they go again. Mellor with a little spin. Mellor going, probing, going. Mellor rolling back the years.
Yeah, it looks like Joe Mellor's gone to the hooking roll, and that's why Jaden Nicarima's lining up in the halves now, along with Ron Mills.
High kick. At the back, pressure on, collected by Dufty. He's collected by Salford, and Warrington have it back 5 off their own line.
It's a great chase, isn't it? Salford time for perfection. As soon as he hit the floor there, they took him down. And again, just trying to work. You see the communication that they've got on, and again letting him off the hook.
Well, this is what they did last week at Lee, isn't it? A lot of yardage penalties. Just hurting themselves here.
Look, and all the hard work to get down there, to put pressure on tackle 1, 2 and 3. That's where you can really restrict the yardage and make them kick from near their line. But now, when giving that penalty away, they're going to be in their own half. Here we go, like 40 out. That's how quick it can change that position, field position.
Yeah. Duffy, the debutant. All here now. Big run from Philbin. He's wrapped up. Will play the ball now. Walker fancies a scoop from dummy half. Good footwork from him. Gets him up to the 20 and beyond. Is that Ruan that's down in back play? Problems for Salford. They're down to 12 at the minute. Hayes gets it away. Tackle made 10 out. But Ruan is in a world of trouble. 30 out from his own line. Here come Warrington now, looking to take advantage. Tackled in front of the post. Held, pushed away. Ruan, who's down in back play now. Penalty given away by Salford. That was on the last tackle as well.
Oh, they're killing themselves, aren't they? Giving a penalty away at the other end of the field. They're on the very last tackle. Giving another penalty away for a ball steal. Says the referee, Scott Mikulowski. So you can see, I think it's Logan Lewis right in front of the referee.
He's getting some treatment. The medics on now.
You've had one against them as well, yeah. No, you've had 3.
That's so disappointing.
We're not moving down. Different offences.
John Miller just asking questions. He's just trying to get the ref on their side as well. Trying to play Mr. Nice Guy for him. He goes 50-50 calls.
Did you used to do that too?
Never got one though. You'd rather be on the same side as the referee, wouldn't you, than always pecking his head and in his ear, saying he's got every decision wrong. Danny Walker, one of those players who looks to snipe from dummy half. Really good footwork, really strong from behind the run.
Well, he'll have a point to prove tonight. One who's involved in a little bit of a dispute, if you like, with the fans last week.
Look, he's a passionate player. Any player that's in a Warrington shirt out there, especially if you're a local, you're going to be feeling it. You live in the town, you walk around the town, you know people who support the club, and you know more than anyone when things aren't going right and you're trying to fix them. Sometimes you try too hard and make more and more mistakes.
Yeah. Well, they're not going to kick the goal here. They are going to run it. Well, Sugar want to be green carded now. Here come Warrington. That's a nice run. Good carry. Maxwood. Look forward. Tackled a couple out. Here's Walker at dummy half. Walker gets it away now. Mattison with a step. Madison probing close in. He's turned away. All the numbers are coming left for Warrington here. All the big players. Short pass. They used Wood as a decoy. They held him out. Now all the big players go back behind the ruck. Hayes, Williams and Dufty. Williams and Dufty are going to the right. That's where the ball's going now. Here is Williams. Finds Dufty. Oh, beautiful pass. Great tackle. Kept the debutant Dufty out. And it's a tackle 5 off the line. Salford racing out here. Williams goes back against the grain. Goes down the short side to Dufty. Dufty tries to bounce out of the tackle. He's wrapped up. Last one here. Warrington knocking on the door. Can they come away with points? High kick coming down underneath the post. Caught. Good leap from Russell. And Salford were pulled and pushed, but they held them again.
That's a massive win for them as they give them some confidence. They get a penalty as well. Warrington trying to do a number, trying to force an error. The line speed was good. I think it's Joe Philbin. The man has been penalised by the referee. And the Salford fans, well, they'll be happy to see the players running away from them, as far away from them as possible. And you know what, in that second half, those fans could be that extra man. Salford ever get near the line.
Yeah, so Terry, here's Rowan. Takes it forward. Plenty of NRL action to come up this weekend and NRLW as well. We've got it all for you. Raiders Tigers tomorrow morning. Sky Sports Mix. That's followed by Dragons Warriors. Sky Sports Mix 6:15. And the Cowboys take on the Roosters at 8:15. And also tomorrow NRL sees the Cowboys against the Broncos at 10:35. And then Sunday we do it all again. Sharks Nights live from 2:50. How good is it to be a rugby league fan these days? You watch rugby all the time. Beautiful hands. Walker almost away. He finds an offload. He's gone backwards. He's picked up here. And now the tackle is made. 20 out from the line. Last one. Mella will get it away to Mills. He'll pick his spot, sends it high. It's gone above the stand. We're in here. High one here. Dusty collects. And good chase there. Again, it's Gorman on the end of it.
And again, it's another win for them, isn't it? Oh, great shot. Well, there you go. That's what I said. Oh, look, Lewis. He might not be the biggest, but boy, he doesn't leave anything in the tank. Oh, man. The second time they've been up there in the last few sets and they've given a penalty away.
That's 3 or 4 now that they've come up within yardage. They've got to know the referee's looking for it now. You've almost got to play for it, haven't you, if you're a defender? You've maybe got to allow yourself an extra yard. I know it's not what you want to do, Terry, but it's better than getting caught offside, surely.
Look, it just all that hard work that you're going to get up there, it unpicks absolutely everything. Just keep an eye on Jade and Nick Reamer as well. He threw his gum shield out before, he's struggling. His left hand's heavily strapped.
Well, he had an elbow injury, didn't he? That forced him out for a few weeks. He's come back tonight, and he's looking in a bit of pain already. Here's a no-look pass. Here goes Wood again. Wood fights his way forward. Tackle is made. There's a bit of theatrics at the end of it. Here's Williams now. Williams gets into Dufty. Dufty has to cut back inside. He's looking for a gap in this defensive line. Where's it going to appear? Answer is nowhere. Tackle 20 out. Calculates a dummy half. Goes to the right. Dummies gets it away to Hayes. Hayes has got nowhere to go. This is the last one. Approaching half an hour gone. Williams floats the kick out wide. Danger here. King above Gorman, but Gorman comes up with it. Well, that was a mismatch in height, but Gorman got up highest and collects it.
Great take. Toby King, well, tried everything, didn't he? Good play as well from Nick Arima. And that's how you deal with Dufty. That's how you deal with George Williams and Danny Walker when they're bouncing across the line. They're looking for someone to just jump the line, and that's the gap that they're going to try and exploit, either with a pass or with a run.
Here they go again. Salford with Walker up the middle. He's tackled. 40 out, 6-6. And Gary in a dummy half. He's going to have a scoop from dummy half, the big fella.
He's the biggest nine I've ever seen in Super League.
He has got a 1 in front of his nine. Does that make any difference? Here comes Salford now. Ball works its way out into the hands of Nick Arima. Ball knocked out of his hand. Danger here. It's going to be collect. What is that? Forward by Thewlis. Referee's going to bring it back, I think, but I'm not sure why. Jake Thewlis didn't just try and pick that up. It looked like a foot race, but it's going to be another set for Warrington.
As you say that there's a knock-on for Warrington as they're going to try and defend the tackle. That's the only thing that I can see, really. They look like a pretty solid hit. Good defence. And George Williams going to challenge this.
Yeah. Well, look at this.
Warrington are challenging the decision of an knock-on. Yeah, that's fine. You're in your right to challenge, aren't you? Yeah. Well, that's the crux of this.
Okay, what's tackle 5? We've got a catch and challenge from Warrington. They're challenging the ruling of a knock-on. So Nick Arima's in possession at this point. He's still in possession there. The ball's still in his hands, so he's still in possession, and George Williams is just trying to make a tackle. He's not making a play at the ball. So you can see his arms wrapping there whilst Nick Arima's still in possession. He's not making a play at the ball, he's just trying to make a tackle. So we can play on from this point. I'm just going to roll it through and see what happens with the ball. So we can keep playing at this point. Keep going. We'll see at what point the referee puts a whistle to his mouth. Okay, and then the referee goes off screen. Thank you. I've made my decision.
So Warrington have challenged this, and they're saying that George Williams has not played at the ball. Terry O'Connor.
I don't think he did. I thought it was a loose carry. Do you know, for Nick Arima, he had the ball in his right hand. George Williams has tried everything to come in and wrap. As he's coming to
Listen,
I've got no reason to stop play, okay, and the ball's still alive. Therefore, it's a mutual infringement, and we've got to go back to the last tackle, okay, which will be Salford tackle.
so Salford will get it Scott Mikalauskas blew the whistle before anybody regained possession. So how do you let Hewlett? And again, we go back. If Hewlett picks that ball up, Warrington get it back. But because he kicked it, nobody had it in their hands when Scott Mikalauskas, who thought it was a knock-on, blew the whistle, then it's a bit of a lucky break here for Salford. You have to say that.
Yeah, absolutely. They get away with it on a technicality, don't they? It was a knock-on. Nick Ream has the ball in his left hand. My right hand side, George Williams comes up with the tackle. Yeah, wow, they've got away with it.
They have, because a millisecond later, here's the high kick. They're going chasing after it. Chimambe couldn't take it. Did he go backwards? His play on. Sangare is going to score. But how did that ball get to Justin Sangare? Referee might want to check it. Did Chimambe get a touch on it? If he didn't, this is going to be play on, and it could be a try. George Williams is furious. Scott Mikalauskas on field says it is a Salford try.
Okay, it's tackle 5. We've got an on-field ruling of try. We need to check the kick chase first, so we'll pause it on the foot. So we can't see the ball, but the foot is outstretched when he kicks it. We can see that Sangare and Mellor are offside in the middle. The rest of the players are okay. So we'll play it through and see what happens with Sangare and Mellor. Okay, we need something in on the contest, but as the ball is touched there by the Warrington player, Sangare is outside the 10, and so is Mellor, so they're okay now to get involved in this play. We'll just get something tightened on the contest. So both players jump for the ball. It's a fair contest. Does that, because of the direction of the ball, I need to work out whether that touches to Chambe's hand. See if we can get anything from the corner angles. Okay, it looks on those two to go through the hands. I'll just check the other corner again. So we can see that it goes through his arms, through the middle of his arms, and comes off the Warrington player's chest. So we can go back now to camera 5. So we can play on from this point. It's off Hewlett's chest. The ball is then missed by both players. It hits Sangare's leg and he takes possession. We've already cleared him because he was outside 10 at the point the Warrington player touched the ball. Go through to the grounding now. And the ball is grounded. Thank you, I've made my decision.
Justin Sangare has just sent the Salford travelling faithful into delirium. Big smile on the face of Sangare. A couple of calls maybe went the way to build up the Salford way, but who can begrudge them that? The try is given. He was in the right place at the right time, and Salford, they lead by 10 points to 6.
Well, you take your opportunities, don't you? Nick Karima, well, they got away with one, didn't they? On a technicality. Sangare goes in for it. It's a good kick. Chimambe's definitely the go-to man. He's very good in the air, the young man. Look at that. He'll certainly back himself. Sangare doesn't panic, and a couple of the Warrington players shoot the line. That's good play, good reaction from Salford to get the right area of the field, to come up with the ball and to pick it up cleanly. And you said at the start of the game how impressed you were with them last week. You know, for 60 minutes, I'll tell you what, they're certainly backing that performance up here tonight.
They are. They've had a little bit of ill discipline down the Warrington end of the field, but when they've been tested, they have been tested on their own line territory, they've defended pretty well. This is for a 6-point lead. Milnes to tack on another 2. The kick is good, and Salford are 6-0 down, now lead by 12 points to 6.
Well, they've had plenty of push around the ball, got a lot of options wherever the ball carrier has gone at the line. I just think sometimes you've got to show a bit of urgency. Chimambe just showed that then. Oh, you're brilliant. Good contest with Josh Rulis in the air. Sangare picks up the ball, and it's a big start, or a big start to the game from Justin Sangare. A couple of sets he was taking, a couple of carries per set.
We are live now on Sky Sports Plus. on the Sky Sports platform. Apologies, I've had some technical issues tonight. Matt Duffy put Warrington in front inside 3 minutes. A lovely run from him, but Jack Derbyshire, his first Super League try for Salford from close in, level it up. We've just seen Justin Sangare dive his way over after a spilled kick by Josh Hewlett, and that means that Salford, chasing a third win of the season, are on top here, and they're coming through the hands again, and Walker, who's made a couple of really good runs already, Terry O'Connor, is having a wow of a night.
Yeah, looks so comfortable, doesn't he, back in Super League. Really good on his nice shot from Toby King on Nick Arena.
There's been a few big shots gone in. Here's Mills, sends it high, deep for Duffy. Duffy spills it, and he can't collect it. Hewlett was in an offside position. Referee's going to say play on. Well, Duffy, that was a steepling kick. We saw Mills kicking game last week, caused Lee some problems. He's doing the same now to Duffy and Hewlett.
You know, that's a big plus, isn't it, for Mills? He's got one of the best kicks in Super League. Well, the ball goes up, and then tell you, I was watching that come down, Matt, and he was floating absolutely anywhere, and you can tell that he just overcooked his run, didn't he? Makes the mistake, normally just takes them day in, day out, Matt Duffy.
Got the try earlier on. He's going to have to come up with some defence now. Nothing Jake Hewlett can do about that one. Salford from the scrum then. Here they go forward. We should mention as well, for viewers just join us, a bit of a sad moment at the start. Ewan Smith, on debut for Warrington, charged the kick down. He took the ball directly to the face inside the opening 60 seconds, and he failed his head injury assessments. His debut lasted literally a minute here. Disappointment for the young man. Leon Hayes back after 16 months out for Warrington is a plus point, but here is Salford looking for points of their own. They're trying to power over with Chan. Bellerin up on the half is doing a sterling job now. Ball now works his way wide. They spill it, and nobody dives on it, and that's going to be a knock on, and Salford will be disappointed there that they had a chance to extend that lead.
Yeah, they still had a couple of tackles in the back as well, 10 metres away from Warrington's line. Now, the big thing for Salford here, now they've got Warrington where they want them, they're really disciplined and don't give a penalty away.
So last week they conceded just before the break, didn't they? Lead. It changed the game. They need to hang on here.
Yeah, you just can't switch off, can you? Look, you're up against the Warrington side, they're desperate. Not only desperate for the win, desperate for the performance. They've not been great all year. You talk to anyone at the club and they'll say exactly the same, whether a coach or a player.
Here come Warrington. Ball fired wide to King. He's wrapped up. Warrington, remember, even if they win all 4 of their remaining games, far from certain even in the mix for the playoffs. Start the night 5 points behind the top 6. All in action tomorrow against Leeds. Wakefield take on Huddersfield and Wigan. Kentlands our trio of games tomorrow across Sky Sports. Williams had that shoulder injury early on, so got rid of that now. He's tackled on his own 40. Here's Walker looking for the kick out wide. He was outside the 40. Chimambe and Walker get across. Walker will pick it up. Is he going to offload it to Chimambe? He is. Chimambe now brings it forward. He gets into the centre of the field, and they tidied that up quite nicely in the end, Salford.
He's a big range player, isn't he, Chimambe? You want to see him in clear field. I think Josh Hewlett was who managed to prevent him from scoring the try, but looking to link up at the back. And everyone now trying to get on board. Joe Mellor now just tries to ush it Gorman around him.
Here now, Chan, short pass. It's another unforced error. And Salford have committed a few too many of those in this first half. They've defended pretty well by and large, and they're going to need to defend here. This could be a big moment in this first 40 minutes. Ball now here with Hayes. Hayes gets it back to Holroyd. He's tackled. 25 out from the line. Ball now with Hayes. Finds Matterson. Gets it away. All the way through at the moment. For the Wolves. Walker up. Dummy half. Options left and right. Goes right to Williams. Williams, oh, beautiful pass, but they couldn't take it in. Duffy drops it. He was through the line, but couldn't take the pass.
Well, I just saw some flashing lights in front of him, didn't he? Red shirts. Flying up the line here, there and everywhere. frustration there from the coaching staff at Warrington. No, they're in a game here.
Well, they've managed to keep their defence in touch.
There's a couple of moments that they have back in this game. Warrington.
Here's Gorman. He came up with a great catch earlier on, didn't he, on his own goal line, the Hulkinson Rovers youngster. Brought forward by Russell. In now is Chan. Decent little set they're building here at Salford.
That's a key word as well, man. Just keep building your sets nicely. Really impressed with Justin Sangare in this game. Trying to lead that pack.
Well, he has. Here's Chan again, another carry. They fancy these Salford forwards, don't they?
Every one of them putting their hands up, having a real dig in this game.
Here's Mellor, will surely go to Milnes. Milnes will just hammer it low down the touchline. Will he find touch? He will.
That's the game management you want. You said earlier, Mark, about conceding right at the end of the first half last week when they played against Lee. He goes for the sideline, tries to buy a bit of time. You know, they've got a couple more players that they've got to defend before they get to the half-time break. But won't the Salford fans, the players, the coaching staff were really happy with what they saw in the first half.
Warrington with the ball. What can they do here? Here's King, turns, tries to find an offload, but he's tackled by Jack Croft. Now with Walker. Walker finds Mattison, bodies in motion. Here's Dusty. Dusty into the line, miss out pass. Pulis is away, offloads it back, but he's put his foot on the sideline. Salford's defence again does the job. Looked for a moment that Pulis was away down the touchline.
I don't think it's Jack Derbyshire comes up with a real big play. Just before half-time, the centre comes across. You can see head down, gets stuck into Pulis. Big play, and those are Warrington fans.
Well, listen to that. Boos around the Halliwell Jones. 4 losses in their last 5. Needed to win to keep any slim chances of playoff action alive, and they are booed from the field. They led 6-0 early on. Matt Duffy with a try, but Derbyshire and Sangare means at the break at the Halliwell Jones, it's Warrington 6, Salford 12. The final charge for the playoffs and a place at Old Trafford. Huddersfield take on Leeds Thursday night, 7:55 on Sky Sports Plus. Then it's Salford against the Catalan Dragons, also Thursday on Sky Sports Plus at 7:55. And what about this one? The battle for the top 2 is going to go to the wire. St Helens against Wigan, Sky Sports Plus and Sky Sports Mix is Friday next week at 7:30. But that's only half of the Castleford take-on playoff chasing Wakefield, 7:55. Also on Friday night, Lee still hunting down the spot in the top 2. They come here to the Halliwell Jones to take on Warrington on Saturday at 2:55. And then Sunday, Rugby, the game where Hulkinson Rovers get their league leaders shield for the first time. But Sport Plus. Sunday next week, 2:55. What a game we've got here then. Warrington, who need to win tonight to keep up their slim hopes. Well, they got off to a decent start, but Salford had other ideas. They're chasing down just the third win of the season. Really entertaining first 40 minutes, Terry O'Connor.
Yeah, well, they scored the first try after 3 minutes through Duffy. I thought they were pretty lucky, really, when it went upstairs to the video referee. I thought Leon Ruin was taken out. There was just a bit of a nudge on him there. And when Duffy goes through, you don't need any help because he's got pace to burn. Matt Duffy showed a clean pair of heels there to get Warrington off to a really big start. But really impressed with Jack Derbyshire in the opening 40 minutes. Thought he's shown up really well. Joe Mellor just holds the ball to perfection, passes the ball to the young former Warrington man who goes in front of his family, here they're supporting him. And it's a big play, and you knew at this point that they were going to be on. And had a couple of opportunities to give away, a couple of penalties that let Warrington off the hook in the game. They get away with one. Technicality here for me. The referee blew his whistle before Warrington could get back hold of the ball and play, so it went back to the previous play the ball. From that play the ball, where they were successful in the challenge, but unfortunately technicality went against them. A great kick from Mills. Drumby just pressures through this, and Justin Sangare, cool as ever, gets the ball, picks it up in between 4 or 5 Warrington players, all trying to get the big man. Nice and composed. It's been a great 40 minutes from Salford.
It has been a very entertaining 40 minutes, particularly for those in the red and black of Salford who had more possession, slightly lower on the completed set, but they've made more meters and they've considered more penalties. But Salford will be pretty happy overall.
Yeah, well, look, give more penalties away, and where they give the penalties away, they cut them out. And they really pressure Warrington here.
Could be. Well, Warrington were booed off at the break. They're staring down a 5th defeat in their last 6. But those in Salford colours are enjoying their defiant. From an hour before kick-off, we can hear them. It was smiles all round. Don't forget, we've got all five of the big grand finals coming up. The only place you'll see them from the northern and southern hemisphere is live on Sky Sports. See every game live from the Men's Super League is right here on Sky Sports, and a triple header tomorrow and 3 games that could be huge in the makeup of the playoff places. Hull and Leeds both in the top 6 going into the weekend. They get underway at 2:45 on Sky Sports Action and Sky Sports Plus. Then Wakefield on the outside looking in. We'll be hoping Hull might slip up. If they do, a Wakefield win over Huddersfield will lift them into the 6. That's 5:25, and we round off a Super Saturday of Super League action as Catalans looking to go back-to-back in the victory column, take on the champions at second place Wigan. That's 7:55 tomorrow night on Sky Sports Action. All that to come, but an interesting 40 minutes in prospect here. Justin Sangare's try has got Salford Red Devils
disciplined and have a big 40.
Tackle made, 15 out from the line. Warrington then, who led early on in that first half. We're looking with Wood to gain some valuable metres early on here in the second half. Quite a lot of good ball, Warrington, but didn't necessarily do a great deal with it. That's a good carry downfield. Now Wood gets it away. Here's Hayes, the comeback man, 16 months out, missed 50 games for Warrington. He's back tonight, and so far so good for him. Walker gets it away to Dufty, and trademark carry on the fifth tackle. Here now is Williams, stands up the kick. Ross Shoeless underneath it, backs it back. Oh, it's still play on it. I think Salford thought that might have gone forward. Mattison will put the kick in. Gorman will collect it. He'll race forward, and he's tackled, hit hard, 25 off the line. But again, that last tackle option, Terry, didn't ask enough for it.
I was just going to say, they did enough with the ball to get to over halfway line. It wasn't a deep kick by George Williams, and it wasn't the ending that they wanted to that set. And then I think it was Ryan Mattison that kicked the ball. Once again, you're looking for Hayes or you're looking for Williams. It's kicking into the corner.
Here they go through the hands, short pass. Looking offload there was Russell. Dropped one early in the game, but after that he's been pretty dominant, hasn't he, in that back row position. Ball offloaded here, they'll keep it alive. Here comes Salford again, short pass, Rowan. Rowan held onto by Williams, that was a must-make tackle. Quick play of the ball, Mella gets it away to Walker, he moves it wide, just roll the kick into the corner, Chimambe after it, Dufty beats him to it, Dufty's quick, Dufty gets up over the 10, that's a good kick return from Dufty, some valuable metres for the Wolves.
You know, Rowan Mills there, if he took that ball onto Derbyshire, he had a 2-on-1, chose to kick it to Dufty, and that's a good set. That's the sort of set you want at the start of the second half. Looking to play, aren't they? Playing off the back of some really good go forward. Salford.
Warrington looking to get their second try of the match. They scored inside 3 minutes. Nothing since then. Walker finds Mattison, finds Williams. Williams with bodies outside him. Can he execute here? Nice pass, finds Shoeless. Shoeless heads in field. You just get enough of him there. That was a must-make tackle, Mills. Just enough, last one. They wanted a 6 again, they don't get one. Williams going through hands, finds Hayes. Hayes is going to put the kick in behind. Desperate. Grounded the ball in the corner. But was it grounded correctly? Kalauskas is having a look here. Celebrations for those in the primrose and blue. And on field it is a try. Salford just couldn't get hands to it. Let's find out if it was grounded correctly.
We've got a try on field. We're checking from the kick chair, so we'll just pause the ball on the foot. Okay, so everybody to the left is onside, so we can play on from this point. You can see it's touched there by a Salford player and goes backwards. Just check the grounding. So the ball's moving, so he needs downward pressure on the ball. Does he get downward pressure on that ball? I'm just going to explore some other angles. Just looking for some other angles. Really slow on this, frame by frame. Camera 9, please. We go frame by frame on this, please. Okay, so frame by frame on this. There appears to be downward pressure there. Can we just check camera 2, just to confirm, please? Okay, so just roll it back a few frames, please. And go frame by frame from here.
the second half. I think it was Ryan Mattison that got the kick away. This set, no, it was Leon Hayes. A great kick to the corner. Connell just couldn't take it in. Jake Pulis, like you said, he's been on fire. His 4 teams trying all competitions. Kids come, they needed the big start, they've got it. They needed to be first on the scoreboard. Josh now to try and slot one over from the side.
This is a big kick in the context of this match to level it up, sends it on the way. The fans are happy, the flags go up. One Fury scores a try, the other one kicks the touchline conversion. 12-12 here at the Halliwell Jones.
Well, the big thing now for Warrington is to get through the next 40 minutes, build enough pressure to keep turning Salford around, kicking into the corner, whether they're defending or coming up with opportunities like that. There's enough strike players with all those youngsters on the field. You look at the spine that they've got in Duffy, George Williams, Danny Walker and Ryan Mattison. Like those 4 players, there's some experience. They set the example, the rest of the team will follow. But what they will have is a real determined Salford side in front of them.
There's a problem with the official on the far side. He's just been getting some adjustments to his communications equipment. All collected on the full. The message from Sam Burgess at half-time. We're hearing from pitch side. Carry harder, tackle harder, and show more enthusiasm. That's pretty damning from the coach, isn't it?
I'll tell you what, that is the game. It's that simple.
Paul Rowley, he's looking for more energy from the start than they had at the start of the first half, and more urgency in the kick chase and turn their pressure into points. Well, deja vu. 3 minutes into the first half, Origin scored. 3 minutes into the second half, they've scored. So part of his message hasn't worked yet. All level here. It's a keenly contested match.
Yeah, well, Sam Burgess just telling his forwards to do the basics, run hard and tackle hard. We take our opportunities when we get them.
Last one. Here, Hayes again. He's going to the sky. That is a steepling kick. Well taken on the far side, though, this time. Connell underneath it did well.
That was a wicked kick, wasn't it? Nathan Connell, he was tested, then managed to come up with it. Gorman now just trying to get to ground and dominated by Warrington. Oh, they've lost the ball. Those have been stripped. By the referee. Well, there was a call from the sideline that the ball was stolen. The referee was looking straight at it. And he thought that the ball was lost and Salford were going to challenge this.
That's not a challenge, Terry. Yeah, they're going to use it. They may as well use it. This is a big moment.
Captain's challenged by Salford, challenging the decision of a knock-on. Declaring the ball's been stolen.
We've got a captain's challenge. Salford are challenging the ruling of a knock-on. Just go through. You can see the ball there. Okay, we can see he's still in possession there. You can see his hand on the ball. Does Mattison also have his hand on the ball? We then lose sight of the ball. It reappears there. We'll keep rolling this through. The Salford player still looks to be in possession there. Is the ball pulled out by Mattison? I need to explore some more angles. So Mattison's hand is on the ball. Okay, so we can see there that Mattison's hand is the one that's over the top of the Salford player's hand. You see there that the ball actually comes out of the tackle in Mattison's hand. We'll just see if the opposite corner will tell us anything. Okay, yeah, so we know Mattison's hand is on the ball. And Mattison clearly pulls the ball out there. Thank you, I've made my decision.
Took a few views, but it's another successful captain's challenge, and Salford have excelled in this particular area of the game, and it's another one. They'll keep that challenge, and Gorman was adamant, and you said it, Terry, the touch was on the far side. He felt there was...
Yeah, he called it straight away, didn't he? The touch, a good call from him in live play. You can see Ryan Mattison just had a tug of that ball, and it just lends itself to Salford to get him out of some trouble.
If only got points on the table for captain's challenge. If they did, they'd be up there in the playoffs. Sadly not. It has been an interesting dynamic, hasn't it, watching teams and how they use those challenges.
I've said it a number of times, well, and how many times that the referees in live play have got it right as well. It's a tough old job.
Here now is Cham. They race up to get to him. Warrington hustling in defence here.
Well, there's certainly some more sting. I know I've only played 6 minutes in the second half, but there certainly was some more sting in the shots from Warrington.
Nicarima slips the ball away. Would carry again inside Warrington territory. Game locked up. Here now, Nicarima again. It's a little bit more comfortable second half, Terry. He was struggling, wasn't he, with that elbow in the first half, but he's starting to be more involved now.
Yeah, really struggled early on in the first half.
Here is Milnes, going to send it high. Dusty will wait, collects it on the full. He'll bring it forward. He's tackled 20 off his own line. Warrington back with the ball.
His kicking game, he's got a lot of different kicks in his armoury, hasn't he? That one was a spiral one. Dusty gets it pretty comfortably as well. That's a great carry from King.
This is what's happening elsewhere in the Super League tonight. A nail-biter, 4-2, no tries yet. Penalty goals dominating. That's on Sky Sports Plus right now. Hull KR against St Helens, a massive match tonight. That's on main event right now. Sky Sports main event. This could go. Oh, it's hit the flag. That's a disaster for Warrington. It wouldn't have been a 40-20. He was outside the 40, but he needed that to go in the touch and not hit the flag.
Unfortunately, now they tap it on the 20. They get 7 tackles. It's a great kick. Out of dummy half from Danny Walker. Got the distance, unfortunately. Just needed that little bounce. Just to go to the sideline before the corner flag.
We talk about fine margins a lot. That would have had them penned on their own line. Now they're up to the 30. Chabambe with another carry.
And then we've got young Tom McKinney on making his debut. His dad, Chris, used to play at Oldham.
Here's Nicarima again. Find the ball. Russell does well. Gets it away. They couldn't take it in. It's a knock-on. Salford gambled. The offload was worth it, but the Warrington defence held firm. Good work from the wire there.
Again, on some of those shots, looking to get him on the outside using speed. Russell trying to straighten it up with an offload to Walker. It just doesn't come off of them. And they know that they've got to play some expansive rugby to break down this Warrington side.
Just a reminder that game, St Helens applicants are on Sky Sports Action. They've got to challenge this again, aren't they? Are they asking about a tackle about the ball? Possibly. Although it was well timed, having seen the replay.
Okay, we've got a captain's challenge. Salford are challenging the ruling of a knock-on, claiming a player was tackled without the ball. So we see Russell's in possession. Okay, so Russell takes possession there, so that's fine. Okay, Russell's still in possession. He passes the ball to Walker. Walker and King are shoulder to shoulder, so we can clear that. Walker then takes possession in his right hand and then loses the ball. Thank you, I've made my decision.
Yeah, good call. Good call in the end. I thought at first glance there might have been something in it. Having seen the replay, it was pretty clear. So that's an unsuccessful one, and that's the end of the challenges for Salford tonight.
Well, they were on a roll, didn't they?
I just want some more.
You know what? They may as well go for it. If they think it could be a 50-50, you never know what happens. And if they would have got the ball back in Warrington's half, again, just build on a bit of confidence.
67% though on the captain's challenges. I'll be pretty pleased with that, but in the scheme of it, they've got bigger things to worry about than that.
Well, if I was Warrington now, I'd be looking at knocking out the next 5-6 sets of 6, finishing well. I say all the time, it seems to get boring, but has to kick it into the corner, defend really well, and just try and hunt the error. 5 sets, get the field position that you're after, and then let Leon Hayes and George Williams go to work.
Here is Williams, finds Duffy, short pass. Here is the debutant Duffy. Ball now works its way to Williams. Not the best pass, picked up by Powell. That's not a good pass either. Bounces up for Chan, he's got it. Seized upon by the Red Devils.
That's my point. Like, get through your sets. Knock out 5 sets. Don't overplay it.
It was Nick Karima, actually, credit to him, who got on it. Really good effort there. Good hands. Salford gets it back on halfway. Here they go. Here is Tiaki Chan this time. He's over the halfway line. It's going to be interesting. The longer it goes level, who blinks first or who can keep their composure. Sangare's try had Salford in front of the break. Ball now here to Mills. Mills finds Nicarimo, gets it away. Here now is Walker, gets it out wide. Ball back on the inside. Oh, he needed a pass. Gorman collects it. Gorman gets it away. Forward goes Lewis, back to Gorman. Champagne stuff. Sangare for the double. It's in. What a try from Salford. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And they celebrate. The fans are going crazy. Referee though wants to hand it upstairs. Scott Mikolauskas says it's a try, but he wants to double check. Justin Sangare might just have scored the greatest try of his life.
Okay, it's tackle 4. We've got an on-field decision of try. We're just checking onside, offside first. So pause the ball on the foot. So Jack Walker's onside, so we can play on from this point. Get some mid-tighting on that. Does Jack Walker touch the ball? Just check, see if we've got a better angle for whether Walker touches the ball. Camera 5 is going to be his best one. So there's a gap there between the ball and the hand. The ball doesn't change shape or rotation, so we can play on from this point. He then takes possession. So we can keep playing on from this point, that's fine. He passes the ball before the ball carrying arm touches the floor, so he's already released the ball, so that's fine to play on. Takes possession again. Still tackle 4, we're fine to play on. Now we're through to the grounding. That's fine. And the ball is grounded. Thank you, I've made my decision.
Listen to that roar the Salford fans have just seen. Justin Sangare ground the ball. They're going to go off again here when the official decision comes up in the ground. But Justin Sangare, it might have been easy to pass it, Terry, but the big man wasn't passing that one.
Absolutely not. Especially after he scored in the first half. He said try of his life, game of his life. I think he's played really well in this game. Justin Sangare been exceptional. And what about this curve-free rugby from Salford? Well, we know how dangerous they are. Got some real strike. And didn't he do a really good job, Nathan Connell, along with that man Gorman, to keep the ball alive. Brilliant play from Salford. I said at the start of the second half, they're running towards their own fans. That's like a huge magnet for them. Oh, Justin Sangare, what a game. Do you know what? I bet there's been seasons when he's never scored 2 tries in a season, let alone a game.
Well, he's got 2 now. Here's Mills. He's got 2 successful kicks. Can he add a third? This would be huge. The Salford fans have gone quiet. They know how big a moment this is. Sends it on the way. They'll be cheering again now. Ron Mills on the money. Salford leading by 6 again.
Yeah. Incredible. for the Red Devils. They've been physical, but what they've also been in this game, they've chanced their arm on a number of occasions, and they've really backed themselves. Logan Lewis, good offload, just as he's going back. Gorman kept himself alive, and Sangare, well, goes in for an important try for them.
Here come Salford again. Lewis dumped to the ground. Jack Crawford off for a head injury assessment for Salford. He's passed it, so good news for Salford. Here's Sangare now. Brings it up to the 10. They're back in front, Salford. Moving it to Rowan. Runs up Williams. Williams stands his ground, makes the tackle.
He's picked George Williams on more or less every time he's had the ball, hasn't he?
Yes. Well, every time we see Paul rolling, this is because one of the owners has sat behind him. The Salford fans are booing as Gorman does well to get up to the 20. They'll play it again. That's a good play of the ball for Mellor. He has been outstanding tonight. They've got themselves out of trouble there.
Yeah, he's really led the side, hasn't he? He started at the half, then goes into the hooking ball. It's a big high kick.
Well, this is going to be interesting. How's the bounce? Who does it favour? Well, it's Hayes who gets back. He'll dive upon it. That could have gone anywhere. He's tackled. And Warrington gets it back.
We'll see what this set's going to be like from Warrington. There's a big bounce in the step from Salford. Here now. See what the only way that they're defending. Very tight here, looking to get some numbers into the tackle and really dominate and drive the Warrington players back.
And the longer they've got something to hang on to, the more vociferous that support will be. They're going through the hands. Warrington, ball over the top, drops. Defence was in the way there. The pass for Thewlis, he couldn't hang on because there were red shirts all over him.
Jones is speculating, trying to throw that flat ball over the top. George Williams just didn't come up.
The shot goes in there. The referee is going to stop play here. The Salford player down. There was a reaction from the fans.
Yeah, Nathan Connell is just down on the ground. Joe Mellor just questioning whether that should have been a penalty. Yeah, George Williams was looking to take Thewlis over the top, trying to hit the flat ball to catch Salford out. Couldn't do that.
On there, they rush having a look at that upstairs.
For Salford now, they're just sucking the big ones, won't they? Just take the recovery. Right, we've got time. Warrington will need to regroup. The first tackle, the defending 40 metres from the line.
It's Holroyd who went high. They're having a look at this upstairs. Doing his job. It got quite intense in the early stages, didn't it? There were a lot of big shots going in earlier on. Paul Rowley getting a message down to pitch side. His side in front. You were reviewing it, mate? Yeah.
This fixture over the years, it's been like a little derby game. Not many miles, settling. Nathan Connell now.
Bicep to the head.
First there was contact from George Williams that wasn't high. There was definitely contact from Holroyd. The ref stopped me from this. Really seems that it was secondary where the play was falling.
I'm still having a look at this.
Just take the time, knows it's a big decision.
Yeah, I think he's pretty much ready to It's a penalty, okay, and it's going to be a sin bin, okay? Hang on. The contact's high, it doesn't mean a high-level force, so it's a sin bin, okay, it's 10 minutes. All right, mate.
I think that's a fair call in the end. Goes high.
It's been reviewed.
More the bicep, wasn't it, than anything else?
That's it, mate. saying about the first contact from George. It wasn't because he was falling, but there was contact with the bicep on corner. See this good carry, goes into it. Look, there's nothing in it, but there's still contact. Yeah, that's the big thing. We've been pretty consistent this year with that.
Yeah, put a few big shots in earlier, Adam Holroyd. This is a big chance for Salford. Can they open up a 2-score lead?
Oh, he's a big physical player, Holroyd. He's going to be missed in these next 10 minutes.
Yes, big 10 minutes for Warrington. Here's Mills. Mills has to go himself, almost through the line, brought down 25 away. Here come the Red Devils, Sangare. He's tackled 15 away. Numbers coming to the left. Here is Croft. Croft lays the lead line, tackled 5 out. Miller waits up dummy half. Walker's on his bike, looking to get to the right. Here's Mills, finds Nicarima. Nicarima drops it back. Ball carried forward here. Big carry goes in there. They're within the 10 again. Last one. Mills in the pocket. Is he for a 1? Is he going for a 1? No, he's going to float the kick out wide. He's looking for Chimambe, and he couldn't catch it. He's normally so good. He turned and looked at his hands and said, what went wrong?
You know, he more or less looked too relaxed when he went up for that. Normally catches down with his eyes closed, but unfortunately slips straight through his hands and goes into touch. Pretty much a let-off that for Warrington.
Yeah, got under it a little bit too much. He was so good last week under the high ball. But a chance missed by Salford, and here comes Warrington. Warrington racing up, and a slip there from Duffy on Davey. Oh no, I thought for a second he was injured there. He is. You think he might have rolled his ankle. He crumples to the floor. Oh, we saw one of the debutants earlier on. Ewan Smith lasted only 60 seconds on debut, and now it looks like James Duffy has succumbed to an injury. He's down at the moment. Warrington trying to reorganise on the run. Having a lot of luck with injuries at the moment, Warrington.
Great run, wasn't it, as well from the youngster?
I think it's more than anything else. Now stretching that lower leg out. Here come Warrington, looking to level it up despite being a player down. Hayes ball over the top. Dufty gets it wide. Sliding defence comes across, and the tackle is made, and that was the last one. Warrington went for it with King, but once again it was Russell with a tackle. The Salford defence hangs on.
Yeah, good play from Salford to recover then. Caught with an error, but what about the run here from Duffy? Brilliant from the youngster. Only been in the system for 12 months. Look, his ankle gives way underneath him. His first thought though is to get up and play the ball quickly.
He's back up in the defensive line now, so fingers crossed it's nothing too serious. Salford looking for a third win. But a quarter of the game and a little bit more to go here. Warrington with Holroyd in the sin bin. Salford. Here's Walker. No doubt he's shot it really well tonight on debut.
It's been good. I've been watching the way he's been marshalling the players in front of him defensively. Joe Miller again goes out. Good shot from Duffy.
Here now, the ball works its way forward. That's a penalty over on Sky Sports Action. Hull County leaders lead St Helens 8 points to 2. They're a little bit further down the line than us. I think there's about 15 minutes left there, so big 15 minutes for Saints. Can they turn it around? And a big chance here for Salford.
Yeah, nice footwork from Jack Croft. Gets a penalty, the high shot from Sam Powell. Gets a bit more pressure here now. Into what they've got to contend with.
There's Mills, Sangare.
He's been brilliant. He's been brilliant today.
There's Miller. Gets it away to Nicarima. Short pass, Russell. So many times they've tried that pass so he can try and offload it. Here now they go again. Miller finds Nicarima. Nicarima digs into the line. Chance in! Salford score again! Early en route to a third victory! No need for the video referee this time! Nicarima's pass and Tiaki-chan is over! The boos ring round 3/4 of this stadium, but one end of it are going absolutely crazy!
What a line from Tiaki-chan. Outstanding! The angle, the speed at which he hit that ball. defensive line that stopped him. Quality player. And the Warrington coach box, well, they know they are well and truly up against it. Salford really determined going into the final quarter. And Nick Arima, look at him going across the line. Chan stayed true to his line, gets through, sees Duffy in front of him, thinks, I'm not going to be denied here. That's good set-up play, isn't it, from Nick Arima. He has eyes for our defence, he's pulling him out the line, and only at the right time does he give the ball to Chan. Once he's got Philbin, just having a little look at him, and that's it. That's how you celebrate.
They've been through the mill this year. Sam Burgess takes a drink on his water. Some tough questions going to be asked if Salford get the victory here. Mills is taking his time with a kick. A quarter of the game to go. Warrington broken down to 12. Some bum faces around here. They weren't happy at half-time, Terry O'Connor. They got level, but since then it's been all Salford.
Well, they're not going to be any happier now, are they? Well, I'm just looking down the team sheet, I'm guessing there's 9 or 10 players in that Salford side that are on loan with the club. Some of them didn't start the season, they've been drafted in. I mean, you have to look at the squad numbers, like we said before. When you go up to 71, shows the numbers that they've been through.
Look at that. That is a damning indictment of the Warrington Wolves. Here's Rowan Mills looking to keep his 100% record going. Sends it through the middle. Rowan Mills stays perfect with the boot. And Warrington have got a mountain to climb now.
Well, just looking at some of the Warrington fans behind Taki Chan, when he went back behind the sticks, they stood up and applauded him. And they've really turned up right attitude. Nick Arima, look at him. He gets Philbin interested, and just at the last split second, he tries to turn his attention to Chan. And look at that for the sight. For those Salford fans who've turned up, and for the ones who are sat at home, that's a great sight for them.
It is. Salford now with a 2-score lead. 19 minutes remaining. Shot goes in there.
On Toby Warren, so he's fresh onto the field now.
Chan got hit hard. I'm not sure he was expecting that, but he did well to keep hold of it. Here's Mills, sends it downfield, hasn't quite got the power on the kick. It's going to come to rest. 30 out. Duffy will collect it, and Duffy's tackled. They need a response quickly. Warrington, they've still got plenty of time to turn it around, but I think for those fans that are still here, Terry, I think they're doubting whether Warrington can turn this around.
Absolutely, but you look at Salford, there's a spring in the step, there's plenty of energy from even on the back of that kick. Yes, they said he didn't get the distance, but as soon as Duffy gets hold of the ball, there's players in front of him.
Well, here come Warrington now, going through the hands. Duffy looking to slice his way through, does slide off a couple of tackles. Now he's looking to go again. Wrapped up by Mills, 20 away. Warrington within striking distance here. Here now is Powell, finds Hayes. Hayes scoops away from one. Hayes straightens up, tackled by Rowan, last one. Here's Walker, gets it away now to Powell. Everybody's run past him, he's going to have to go it alone. And Salford scramble again, keeps them out.
He thought he just wanted some space, didn't he? Name's Toby Warren and Chan that managed to prevent him from scoring. Like I said, Jack Walker, the man who's got hold of the ball, he was just marshalling those players in the middle. It's a big 5 minutes here now for Salford. No, they didn't get through these next 5 minutes. Possibly, if they get a chance of going for 1 point, they could take the game away from Warrington.
Salford lost the last 5 coming into this. A big Castleford at the Salford Community Stadium back in round 18. Not won away this season. Both wins coming on home soil. There might be a slightly different 17 on show here, but I'll tell you what, those that have pulled on the badge over the last couple of weeks have done it proud. Ball rolling, and we're hoping that his side can hang on. Mills sends it high, Dusty waits underneath it, drops to his knee, collects it, feeds it to Thewlis. Jake Thewlis sets off. Salford's chase is okay. They can't put the cue on the rack just yet, Salford, because we know that Warrington can score from anywhere, but they've just got to keep completing and kicking well.
You know what, that's what I said as well. You know there's going to be a bit of a response from them. Walker and George Williams looking to link up. When they get through the next few sets of 6, I'm sure the Rowan Mills will go or attempt the drop goal.
Yeah, here's Dusty putting himself into the action now. Warrington getting desperate. They were undone late last week at Huddersfield. Can they return the favour? Walker kicks, was he blocked? There's a Salford player back. Referee says play on, and they do play on, and they get up to the 10.
Not play at the back, was it, from Chan then? He's trying to escort Danny Walker off the ball when he's kicked the ball through and manages to come up with it. Just get him out of trouble. Some real big minutes coming up now for some of the outside backs to carry the ball and look after the forwards who've done an enormous amount of work. Good play from Chan.
And a good job there. Here they go again. The Red Devils looking to grind out a victory. 24 points to 12. That was the scoreline that Warrington won by earlier in the campaign. There's Chan getting some treatment. Here's Walker, gets it away to Derbyshire. He got his first try for the Red Devils tonight to level up the match. Last one. Holroyd's back on. They're back up to the full complement. Little banana kick from Mills. Finds touch. Ekes out another few seconds out of the game clock.
Again, nice play, good game management from Mills. And see when he struck that ball, what he was trying to do, get it to the sideline. And just let the clock tick down. Get some oxygen back in the lungs for some of his bigger forwards that have played big minutes. Sangare's back onto the field now to finish the game off for Salford.
We mentioned when it was 12-12, who would hold their nerve the better? Well, the fact that Salford now have got a 2-game lead, and now an error from Warrington, and it's all going wrong.
There's a forward pass. Again, they're just trying to get over the advantage line, play really quick. Come up a quick play the ball, get over the outline, try and catch Salford out when they're going back. Unfortunately for Sam Burgess's men, they give the ball and they give the ball over cheaply to Salford here.
Salford then with another opportunity. I think the roof will come off, Terry, if they score again here. Here's Mills, turns it back, ball on the angle, carried forward by Derbyshire. Here's Mellor, gives it to Rowan, who's never stopped trying tonight. Mellor waits, gets it away. Here now is Mills, finds Nicarima. Walker couldn't take it in. He couldn't take it in. How much of a threat has Nicarima looked second half?
Yeah, Nicarima and Walker, whenever they've had the time and space going at the defence. Unfortunately, Nicarima, he just couldn't quite execute that pass. Just goes in front of Walker. You could see him bending, trying to get it. Didn't quite have the speed to get there, to pick it up. They're seeing opportunities, they're trying to take them. It's not conservative rugby for Salford, is it?
It's not. Big day tomorrow. Hull against Leeds kicks off a Super Saturday of action. A triple header, Wakefield, Huddersfield 5:25, and Catalans take on Wigan. Sky Sports action for that one. Triple header tomorrow that will have real ramifications. That Warrington has, and dangling by the thinnest of threads. Here's Powell. Here now is Williams, rolls the kick through. Kimambe needs to get back. He made a bit of a mess of it, but he grounds it in goal. Not the worst outcome. It could have been a lot worse than that.
He gets on second attempt, didn't he? That young man been exposed to first-team rugby playing in Super League. Knows there's a bit of pressure on him. Got a really bright future, the former Leeds Rhinos junior. He knew that he could probably hear the footsteps of the Warrington players galloping down on him as well.
O'Reilly looks on. Again, a few boos from the Salford end because one of the owners is in picture. Here now is Hayes. Good first touch from him. Gets it away. Yates will bring it forward, but it's a good chase from Salford. 30 out from the line. The ground emptying in around us here. The Warrington fans making their way to the exits. They think it's done. They think the season's over for the Wolves. It might be, unless they can produce 3 tries late on here. Ball now inside the 20. They get one. It's game on. Here's Williams. Williams looking for room. Tries to get away. Rouhani's all over him again. 5 out from the line. Set restart for Warrington. Bonus. Here's Duffy. Duffy short pass. They've dropped it. Once dropped it. First tackle. Disaster. Absolute disaster. But was there a Salford hand in there?
Well, that probably sums up Warrington's season in that play. If you go back the previous couple of plays, there's a lot of effort, but lone individuals trying to do it, trying to come up with all the plays themselves.
So Mikalauskas has said it was touched on. Salford are overly happy with that. Burgess is in there somewhere. Tell you what, there's going to be a strong reaction if they get beaten here. Ball over the top, intercepted, and away they go. Connell down the sideline, hasn't got the pace, doesn't need it now, just keep hold of it. His mazy run gets him all the way to the halfway line. Listen now, listen to the reaction here, the Halliwell Jones. Sam Burgess is in big trouble here.
But if one of your best players, not just in Warrington but in the country, are throwing passes like that, we saw it before when he was trying to set Jake Fewley's free, ball goes straight onto the floor, Connell pounces on it. Well, they're a team that looks frustrated. There's bags of effort. You can't say that they're not having a go. They're having a go, but they're just in the wrong areas.
Here's Mella, Sangare.
And as well, what I am going to say as well, this Salford side have been brilliant today. They've been outstanding. The scoreline's like it is because they're the best team on the field.
Yeah. And I don't think it's any coincidence. They played well for a long time last week. He's got 13 of the same 17 tonight. There's a bit of continuity there. Here's the drop goal from Mills to put the icing on the cake. He kicks it. Salford on their way to the 3rd win of the season. The Salford fans celebrate, and so they should. A horrendous year for the club, on and off the field. And it's a rare moment of absolute pure unbridled joy.
Oh, incredible. I said that he was going to go for it. And as a former Salford player, the club gave him a start in the game. And I look at them, and I look at the surface of the field that they've all had to deal with, the coaching staff, the players, and they've turned up week in, week out with a smile on their face, trying to compete. And wow, this is going to be a big night for them. A huge night for them, and a huge win.
It is massive. They've got the ball back off the short restart. Everything going Salford's way this evening. And you cannot begrudge them, can you? Those that have stayed loyal, those that have come in on loan, the likes of Louis Gorman and Jack Derbyshire, now they are heading for their exits. And that'll be the only thing that reduces the level of boos here after the game here, Terry. The home fans are not happy. It is going wrong quickly at Warrington.
Yeah, especially after last year, where they were so good. The defence was outstanding last year. And all of a sudden, this year, well, they've had some ups, they've had some downs, they've had more downs than ups, though.
Here's Mills again. Kicks it into touch. And he will say that'll do it. I mean, he's been a steady hand, hasn't he? His goal kicking's been impeccable. But he's directed them round the field. He's made them have a focus and a point to get to on the pitch.
Well, him and Joe Miller, and we talked about Jack Walker as well. Jack Walker defensively has led them. He's marshalled them. He's done everything so well from the back. Then the forwards have been brilliant in the middle of the field. 17 man of the matches for Salford, you would do. Every one of the lone players over the year that have come in, they'll go back to the parent club with a lot of it through experience. But they've certainly come in and had a go at me. Look at that, I said it's going to be a good night for those Salford fans.
Another full pass on the ground.
Another one can knock on.
Yeah, it's play on, went backwards. Here is Thewlis, carries it forward. Across here now is Williams. Williams trying to break through. Here is Wood. Last one. Here now is Hayes. Sends it into the sky. Jamambi catches it and he gets clattered, but he came up with the ball again. The Salford fans now counting down the seconds. This is a big, big win in a tough old year for them.
Well, he's brave, didn't he, to remember at the back. He knew as soon as he got that ball, he's going to be under a bit of pressure. Again, he comes up with it, puts his hand up to carry the ball forward.
Here's Miller. Miller carries it. His way forward again, up to the 20 they go. This has been some effort from those in red and black. Kick from deep, that hits a player. They're offside though, Salford, they can't pick it up. And here now the ball works its way to the hands of Dufty. Time running out for the Wolves, season running out of time as well. Thewlis breaks through, down the sideline he goes. Oh, strong tackle goes in there from Lewis. A bone cruncher to stop Thewlis in his tracks. Set restart for Warrington. They need to score here. Dufty throws up the ball. What a pass it is. Out wide here. Chance to juggle. And a try. No. Forward pass is chopped off.
Do you know what? That just shows the effort that they put in. Maybe Logan Lewis over on Salford's left-hand side. The ball goes over to the right-hand side. And coaches always say, don't switch off when the ball goes away from you. Keep working hard, keep pushing. You don't know what's going to happen. They work hard when Nathan Connell is. That just does enough to just make that error. I think they've been heroic in some of the defensive plays. Salford.
Well, they mentioned in the first half when their discipline let them down at one end, their absolute refusal to be beaten on their own line. They just kept turning up, and here they go again, breaking out of their own end. Good run.
Well, in the first half, I think they gave away 3 penalties.
They did. Last knockings over on Sky Sports Action. Hull KR, the leaders, potentially one game away from the league leadership. Leeds St Helens. They're into the final 2 there. They could potentially wrap it up against Hull FC next weekend. You'll see that game live on Sunday on Sky Sports.
What a game that would be. Wouldn't Hull FC look to stop them lifting the shield?
What's going through Sam's thoughts at the moment? Here's Mills again, turns it back for Rowan. Another one that's put his hand up and carried strongly. Last one here. Mills going to thump it into touch again. Another tick in the box. Another step nearer. And Paul Rowley there shaking hands, even with the players not involved tonight. What a great night for those. We know that players have moved on, but there are those that have stood firm and those that have come in as well to help the cause. We understand everyone that's moved on, but a rare, genuine moment of absolute joy for him and his coaching staff and those fans and players alike.
Well, good news stories. Not many of them have been coming out of Salford in 2025. Well, this night will. Logan Lewis, the amount of times he has to get fixed up in a game. He's a big heart. He's a big-hearted player. Throws his body into absolutely every towards a penalty here.
No time. There's not enough left. Russell showed up well tonight against his former club.
He had a point to prove as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
It's a big game for him, and it'll be a big end to the game for Salford now. They won't want to concede another try.
Here can Warrington, the juggle, but they've not threatened enough in this second half. I can tell you, Hawkinson Rovers have beaten St Helens 12 points away. That opens the door up for Leeds tomorrow. To jump above St Helens for Hawkinson Rovers, potentially one way away from a league leaders shield. Here at Warrington, they're going to kick in behind. Chamande will get back, collects it, goes to ground. Job done for Salford. It will be a third win of the season. It will be a first away win of the campaign. And maybe more importantly in the grand scheme of things tonight, it's a season-ending result for Warrington. They are in turmoil after this. 5 losses in 6. We'll get reaction from both camps after, but tonight is all about the Salford Red Devils. They came here, they fell behind early on, but they were in front at the break. Derbyshire and Sangare tries. Pulis added to Duffy's first half effort just after the break, 12-12, but then Sangare, Tiaki-chan scored the tries, and it is a third win of the campaign for Salford. Absolute delight for those in red and black. Boos aplenty ring round the Halliwell Jones. Surely now season over for Warrington. What next for them? A season of disappointment, but for Salford it's good news for them. They have come here against the odds and beat Warrington. It ends Warrington 12, Salford 25. So, what a night, Terry O'Connor, for Salford. They have been brilliant, absolutely brilliant to a man tonight.
Yeah, fantastic. What a great result for the club, for the fans, for the coaching staff. No, fantastic. They'll not forget this game. It'll be one of the moments that they'll look back in years to come and think, I was there, I was watching that. It's immense what the efforts that some of the players have come up with. In fact, not some of them. All of the players, they've been brilliant. The players that have come in have certainly helped right the way through the year. All, 71 that we said have played for Salford this year. That's an incredible start in itself. Shows how busted they've been. No continuity in that team whatsoever, but managed to come to a club like Warrington with star-studded names and do a number on them.
Look, tonight is Salford's night. I've got to ask the question. I'm not taking away from what Salford have achieved. Where do Warrington go from here?
No, I've no idea. Like I said at the start of the game, when you looked at the Warrington side and the squad was announced that there was 11 players that come through the system, the focus for Warrington going forward is on those young players that you can get them through the system. The academy, the scholarship, the reserves are all doing a grand job. And sometimes Warrington, I've said it before in commentary, they've got it wrong with some of the players that they've gone for those big name players. It's not worked. Maybe bringing through some of the youngsters. There was a number of them who were exposed to first team rugby today. 3 of them made the debut in James Duffy, Ewan Smith and Tom McKinney, and we'll see plenty more from them lads in the future. But I want to talk more about Salford, how good they were.
Yeah, and they were good. They were involved in everything. Defensively, they were outstanding. They kept Warrington at bay, and the chances when they got them, certainly in that second half, they took them.
Well, I'm not going to make any excuses for Warrington. They were beaten by a better side. There's 13 players on the pitch at one time going against each other. I think the determination, the desire, the hunger, the never say die attitude for some of these players. Some of the players have been shown the door by clubs wanting to make a career and build a reputation. Some young players have been given opportunity to have a crack at Super League and wearing the Salford jersey for maybe 1 year. Who knows what happens? What the performance and tonight has all been about Salford.
Oh, look at that fella. If he doesn't epitomise what it means to play for Salford tonight, Logan Lewis. Look at that. That's a war wound he'll be happy with.
If Logan Lewis's name was in a dictionary and you looked at what it meant, it'd be a right goer. That's what he would be.
He is indeed. away. Justin Sangare, he's with Joe Mellor. Justin, congratulations. What a win and 2 tries for yourself.
Yeah, thank you very much. The boys did very well today. We had a tough year, but I'm very proud of everyone, even the fans. I thank God for everything He gives to me, and what a grace. Thank you very much.
The try before half-time, Justin, put you in front, but that second try, what a try it was from your team.
Everything go well because everyone worked together. I feel like everyone was together, and that's why I score. It's not only me, it's all the team together.
It helps when you've got someone like Joe Mellor at the side of you. Joe, outstanding effort. You've been back in the team last couple of weeks. And what does it mean to you? You stood firm when others have moved on. What does it mean to get a win like that?
Oh, it means a lot. I think I probably have to give most of the credit to Rolls. I think the way he can get a team up. I think some of these players have only played 2 games. We've had 2 training sessions together. So the way he can fire people up and get into a game like that against a good team, Warrington, we just have to keep moving and keep going. I think a lot of people ask me about staying, but look, I'm here just to do my job, and that's all I'm doing.
A word on Justin, obviously 2 tries tonight. I mean, that if ever a try summed up your efforts tonight, that second try Justin got was it.
It was amazing, to score in front of the fans. They've been there since the start, and for me, it was a grace to score this try. We put our heart for this team, so I'm very proud, and I'm proud of everyone here.
Joe, I'm going to say, it might have only been your 9th game of the year. You've been one of Salford's best on and off the field in a real tough period. But from a lad growing up in Warrington, playing against his hometown club and doing it in front of the Salford fans, what does this game mean to you, and what does this night mean to you?
Yeah, like I said before, it means a lot. I never look at the fixture list and think, when we're playing Warrington, I just try and turn up every week. But I'll be honest, it is nice to turn up and beat Warrington today. But I just think, like you said before, with Rolls getting a team up, but I think it's all heart. I know it sounds a bit corny, but I think that's what we've got at Salford with everything going on. And I think the lads that have stayed, they're showing up every week, and we're being patient, and we're hoping something pays off at the end. But like you said, you've got to play rugby with a heart, and that's what we did tonight.
Well done, fellas. I'm going to let you go. Take the adulation of the crowd. Well done, Justin, our back Fred player of the match. Well done, Joe Mellor as well. Outstanding stuff. These are heartwarming scenes, Terry O'Connor. They really are.
They're brilliant. Like I said, the players won't forget this night. Anyone who's involved in a Salford jersey, who's sat on the sideline coaching the side, or if you stood behind the sticks and you've come down the road probably 15 miles to support your team, this is a real special night for them.
It is a real special night, not only for the fans, the players, but for the man in charge. Paul Rowley hasn't been on the right end of the results too many times this year, Paul, but what a performance. I am sure you are proud as punch tonight.
I'm emotional, really. I was emotional last week for the league game, and it's because of the fans. The fans just connected everybody last week. We got a bunch of strangers here who's just come together, become mates, within a 7-day period, and then they just bought into what the fans have done, and Salford just brings so much to this competition. When you look at these guys here, when you look at the recent history, Man of Steel's, Grand Finals, Challenge Cup Finals, there's life in this club. There's a soul in this club, and that's pretty important to our game. A game that prides itself on giving kids an opportunity. It's not elitist. It's you don't need money to play this game, and these boys, in this club, just continuously. I think this is what rugby league's about. Them guys right there, them supporters.
Do you know what, Rolls? I've known you for 35 years. I've never once seen you smile. You look a really proud coach tonight.
Well, I just said to Paul there off camera, deep breath, because I'm trying to hold in my emotions. So it's pretty tough. It's pretty tough.
We saw last week for half a game you were really good at Lee. Probably good for an hour. Just maybe ran out of juice at the end. Have you had a normal week this week? I think it's third 17 from last week have played tonight. And funnily enough, you can put round pegs in round holes and all of a sudden your team's playing again.
Yeah, it's been as normal as it's been. I wouldn't say totally normal. You know, some players played only turned up today, some last on team run, but like I said before, what we've seen is, and we always do at this club, we let characters be characters, and people relax into the group real quick, and they learn how to have fun while still retaining an awful lot of amount of belief. We came here with belief. Like I said before, a bunch of strangers came here as one with belief, and we came here expecting to win, and that's kind of how we roll. And yeah, it might seem crazy sometimes, but that's what sport's all about. We came to compete, we came to win, and thankfully to the players who to every man, they were fantastic.
A lot have moved on, and we understand why that has. Justin Sangari stayed firm to the cause. It just feels the last few weeks he's kicked up another level or two.
Yeah, and we've seen it with Jack Ormerod this year as well. Justin, he's done it today when called upon, pressure's off, and you get to be yourself and relax. And yeah, I'm really pleased for Justin today. It's not always been an easy journey for him in settling in at Salford. But today he's really come alive, hasn't he? 2 tries for the big man as well, so that's always good.
Look, you've had some big wins during your coaching career, whether that be at Leigh and Toronto, and obviously now at Salford. Where does tonight fit in your career?
This is just different. This is a different win than I've ever had before. It's different because it's about the fans. This win is all about Salford, showing what Salford's got in the soul and the spirit. The past players of yesteryear, the fans of yesteryear, and the present now. And like I said, the players have gone through. There's just so much soul in this club. They bring a lot, and I just can't thank the fans and the players enough. And to be fair, I've got to thank the Warrington fans as well for the respect that they've shown us today, and I thought they were great. It's good to be at such a prestigious club and put our best foot forward, so just very proud to represent Salford tonight, that's for sure.
Look, we know there are things that have got to be resolved off the field, Paul, but if anyone's looking on wondering what's going on at Salford, they see the pictures tonight, they see that fan base and the support that they brought. They were here an hour before the game, and you've mentioned it, Salford is still alive and kicking, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got spirit, it's alive, it's kicking. It's been an awful year, nobody can deny that, but last week I got to chat a little bit more about rugby and chat to you guys about rugby in the aftermatch, and today I've got more and not one bit of sympathy as well today, so that's good. Everybody's talking about the win, about the rugby, and that's what I want to do. I want to compete. These boys want to compete, and these fans want to compete. So it's a proud city. It's full of proud people, and it's been a good day.
3 more to go, I guess. Roll on next week.
Just let's enjoy this one first. Says I'll see you in the dressing room, lad. You come and have a beer with us.
Okay, right, Paul, we'll let you go. The fans want to say bye to you as well tonight. Brilliant stuff, Paul Rowley there. He's been up against it, and he's fronted up every single week. He's never shirked it. He's come and spoken to us on Sky Sports. It is nice. Look, we are neutral, but it is nice to see players who busting a gut finally get some results.
Yeah, of course, it doesn't affect our lives whether teams win or lose. But what you do, you see the man, you see how humble he is. And like I said, I was lucky enough to play against him when he was at Leigh, and when he's made his career right the way through. And I think he's always been a great bloke, honest bloke, always been very good with everyone in the press, and he deserves it. And I'll tell you what it does do as well. It's done his CV, the World Cup. Salford won't want to lose that man because he's done so much for the club. He stayed loyal when he could have gone on a couple of occasions, and that's what it means to him. There was a turn here, like I said, I've known him 35 years. I've never seen him smile so much, and a big performance, and he's well respected by his players. When he stands in front of you in the changing rooms and he says, look, I want you to do this, I want you to do that, they believe in him, and they go out there and they do it.
Yeah, brilliant scenes for Paul Rowley and Salford. Look, we know there are bigger issues to come off the field that may well determine what happens for Salford, but let them have their moment. They've more than earned it. They were by far the better team. Absolutely, they were the better team. Let's have a look then how the match unfolded, and in particular that second half when it looked like Warrington were going to get back into it.
Yeah, well, it was 12-6 at half-time, and they came out and they had to play well. They scored 4 minutes into the second half. You thought maybe the comeback was on. Jake Foulis gets on the back of a real good kick from Leon Hayes. Now which was the second set of the second half. But there was just this never-say-die attitude from Salford right the way through the game. And I just thought they were incredible. And the way that they pushed the ball around, Nathan Connell did a good job, kicked the ball back on the inside. Gorman gets hold of it, gives the ball on to Lewis, who offloads the ball. And the man who started it all off at the play of the ball, Justin Sangare, he gets on the back of it. Big play, big moments, and they turn up here with the right attitude that they have nothing to lose. Warrington with the team under pressure coming in this game on the back of the loss to Huddersfield, and just the sheer emotion right from the fans and the players on the field. There was a bit of belief when they went in front here by 6 points, and then Jackie Chan, no, you want some players to be aggressive. I said about Logan Lewis not being the biggest, well, Chan's exactly the same, and he hits a good line. Joe Philbin just looked in, and Chan opened it up.
Brilliant, more emotion and a bit of class to wrap it up.
Yeah, just big moments in the game. You'd own those big moments, and he just knocked it over Owen Mills. They expected it, and there it comes.
He has been a good recruit for the Red Devils. This is the tail of the tape then. Salford with more possession, slightly better completion rate, slightly better everything.
Yeah, more meters,
really.
More meters, less missed tackles, more errors for Warrington. No, I think the penalties that they learned from the first half when they give 3 penalties away close to Warrington's line, led up again more trouble. But what a night for Salford. Led at half-time, but final score, well, they led, take the 2 points.
They do, 25-12, the final charge. Oh, it's something of a stutter for Warrington. Another defeat, here's how it looks. Lee, 46-6 winners over Castleford, and they are a big beneficiary tonight of St Helens losing 12-8 at Hull Kingston Rovers. Hull are now 1 win potentially away from that league leaders shield. Warrington beaten their playoff hopes go up in smoke tonight. Salford the winner. Tomorrow, a trio of huge games when it comes to the playoff race. Hull take on Leeds live 2:45 Sky Sports action. Wakefield Huddersfield 5:25 on Sky Sports Plus, and the Catalan Dragons take on Wigan 7:55 for that one. What does all that mean to the table then? Well, Hull Kingston Rovers are top, and they are 6 points clear. Wigan can close the gap tomorrow should they beat the Dragons, but one more win for Hull Kingston Rovers, when you look at the points difference, should be enough to give them a first ever league leaders shield. Leeds could jump above St Helens and Lee up into third, whilst Wakefield could jump above Hull should Hull lose to Leeds tomorrow. Here's what's coming up then, the final charge, so we're halfway through round 24, and what a round it's been already. Tomorrow, don't go anywhere. You can watch all 3 games live. Hull FC against Leeds at 2:45 on Sky Sports action. That is a massive game, and Wakefield have got very much an interest in the outcome there. They take on Huddersfield after that 5:25, and we round off tomorrow night. Catalans take on Wigan. Sky Sports action at 7:55. Our thanks to Terry O'Connor, as ever. Look forward to seeing him next week. Well done to the Salford Red Devils. Tonight was their night. They get a 3rd win of the season, and they did it in style. Joy for the Red Devils. They've beaten the Wolves. From all of us here at Halliwell Jones. Good night.